questions is, what is its impact? That is essentially the business potential that is there. And in fact, the work you are now initiating and trying to do will can create a big business potential for tomorrow. Overall, of course, the world is today having revenues of $190 billion, and this is growing at not a very fantastic rate. Like telecommunications is growing at 14%, and whereas space services, the space industry revenue is growing at about 6-7% every year. And it comprises, as I said, the major part of it comes from services. Okay, the spacecraft is about 8%. The launch vehicles, entire launch thing, it is just 3% of the total business. And the ground systems, which the users need to get to the information from satellites, this is something like 29%, less than 30%, and 60% is from the services. And even in this 60% of the services, a predominant part is from the television. Direct-to-home television is a major part. Almost 90% of the total communications revenue, it is coming from the direct-to-home television. That is the power I explained. If you are able to address the individuals, your market is very large, and you have to really reduce the cost, and that is where disruptive approach is very much necessary for the technologies. So this creates a very great opportunity, as we can see from the abilities I described for space. But then, now we have a lot of competition also. So essentially, we have to see how we can compete effectively in this on a global basis. It is not competition within a particular region, but you should be competitive by global standards. So these global trends have been helping the commercial growth potential. Essentially, what was the preserve of government activities yesterday, what was the preserve of government investments, government use, these space systems, now they are becoming more open to the business applications today. Let us see what has been the Indian scenario. Over a period of 4 decades, we have. It is a history. We know that Indian Space Research Organization has very successfully done many missions in a number of areas, developed state-of-art technologies, and in fact, at certain epochs, the whole world started looking at us when we launched the first civilian satellite with the highest resolution anywhere in the world. In fact, taking the technologies, Professor Krishnaswamy was intimately involved with that. The world turned back to us. And this gave us capability to sell imageries not in our country. We sold in 20 other countries, including US, Russia, and even in China. So essentially, these successes, particularly we could launch 43 foreign satellites so far using a very reliable, versatile PSLV system. Because of this imaging capability, which is versatile, today India has capability to image not only in the optical region, it has capability, it has put radars into space, and so we have day and night all-weather imaging capability. We have also built sensors for observation of oceans, very sensitive sensors, and we have also built sensor systems which can sense in very, very narrow bands. So a hyperspectral sensing, we call it. So all these capabilities provide a variety of business opportunities. Today, there is a market still, in spite of having so many satellites, the Indian market has grown to an extent that still about 50 to 60 crores worth of images from space is still being imported by India. And if we take images of a quality of 1 meter resolution, essentially ability to see at 1 meter detail, the ones like this, which are created out of the satellite sensors, which can take resolution at 1 meter. So we have a market where the users are ready to pay $14 per square kilometer. But if you can think of a constellation of satellites, small satellites, to image anywhere, anytime, and deliver in 48 hours the images, if this is the kind of capability you can build in, I think you have a market which can far exceed the investment needed for satellite systems. So from the micro satellites, your vision should be to develop probably from nano satellites to micro satellites, creating operational capabilities. A user wants reliable service over a period of time. You should take penalties if you are not able to deliver, and you have to maintain the quality standards. So these are very important when we say operational services. If you can do that, your vision from nano satellites to micro satellites, which can provide operational capabilities, I think you have tremendous business opportunity. What I told, this 50, 60 crores, every year it is growing because there is a demand for imagery for various purposes. Governance, then business uses, and even citizen services. So now we have very powerful tools in GIS technologies, and it gives fantastic abilities to monitor changes that are happening, which are needed by each and every department in the government. And we are seeing this demand. And if we can orient these developments to that, I think you have a fantastic business case. So that is where some of you who are associated with the nano satellites and subsequent microsatellites could also start your own companies like Dhruva Space or other companies in India, and then come together to add value in the market. Today, the jobs are not in India. These jobs are going to US or other countries because we are importing the total product while we have the capability within the country. So this is where I think some of the entrepreneurship opportunities are to be taken. Okay, so there are some key success factors. If we have to exploit this business, we need high resolution capability, quick turnaround time, and so on. As Krishnaswamy explained, it is possible to do this. It was a very good news he has given. It is possible to do this in nano and micro satellite systems to have 1 meter resolution. It is possible. So I think we should look at that aim. And of course, we have many challenges in doing this. We should create delivery capabilities, even with ISRO, with all its strengths, when it comes to the delivery to the users, to the global standard, it is struggling hard. So essentially it is a very challenging area. And of course, we also need to create marketing infrastructure. And initially, for 1 year, we have been struggling to sell our imageries. Nobody was ready to buy from India. And then, Dr. Kalam said, if you want to sell to white man, go to a white man, employ him, and he will sell. So that is exactly what we followed. And very soon, we could sell in 20 countries and create marketing capabilities. The other area is satellite communications. Unfortunately, here, small satellites cannot do. We need bigger and bigger systems. But definitely we can make these systems more efficient by bringing in new technologies. Essentially, I saw a system in Israel which is just 2000 kilogram satellite, but double the number of transponders. Transponders define the capacity in a communication satellites, the number of channels, TV channels it can carry and transmit. So we have to bring in better technologies for propulsion. For example, we carry fuel. Half of the satellite weight is fuel to maintain the satellite for 15 years in orbit. So this can be, if it can be replaced with other type of propulsion systems, certainly we can make them more efficient, and we can also meet the demand. Today, as was told in the morning, only 25% of the capacity or the demand in India we are able to meet through the communication satellite system. Rest, we are taking the help from other countries, other systems, international operators. Is it not possible for us to add more value within the country? How to create that capacity? Here lies entrepreneurial opportunity for private sector, but it cannot be done by private sector alone. There are many policy issues, regulatory issues, and also issues relating to the orbit and spectrum availability, which has to be coordinated with international bodies. And probably we have to think of collaborations across the world. Maybe we have to have give and take with other satellite operators. We get some capacity from other systems, we also go and market our capacity elsewhere. So this type of approaches we need to follow. And certainly we could do this, our technology is good. The proof of that is we have exported 2 satellites to Europe, to very demanding customers, and one of these satellites are providing commercial services, earning profit. So certainly, why not we have a broadband satellite in our own country in K-band? It should be possible. So we have a lot of strengths, and here also, as I mentioned, many challenges. Coming to the launch services, of course, PSLV had been a very reliable workhorse and very versatile. As you have seen, it has launched payloads into geostationary orbit, payloads into low Earth orbit, polar orbit, and even to lunar mission. And then it launched multiple satellites, 10 satellites at a go. We launched small satellites in one of the missions. So it has excellent record, but behold, the competition is also coming. Now there are many systems which are being developed for particularly the launch of CubeSats, multiple CubeSats and so on. So we have to prove that we can stay in the competition, and certainly we need to see how we can further exploit this market, which is important. And we need here, what is needed here is, here the government's role is very important, and government has to create greater capacity. Right now, we cannot have more than 4 or 5 launches. Chinese are launching 13 launches per year. So we should also create the industrial capacity to excel and to be able to capture higher level of the market, global market, because we have created a very good brand image, we have proved our reliability, and our turnaround, versatility, and so on. So we should exploit that. The another area, of course, which is a big market worldwide, almost including the chips and the user terminals, the positioning market, the GPS type of systems. They have $60 billion market in the world. And today, this is a very nascent market in India. And India is thinking of space segment, creating a regional system for giving positioning signals independently. Now, like GPS signals are free. Of course, the money is made on the services when you use it, like Map My India system or other systems which make use of GPS signals but provide value-added services.